Hi. I'm nervous. Okay, we're just gonna rip this Band-Aid off together, okay? Ugh. 3, 2, 1. Ah! Hi. Oh my God, y'all. It has been way too long. Way too long. Oh my God. Way longer than I wanted it to be. Yeah, I'm nervous. I get nervous to stream. Hello, everybody. It's funny, I don't get nervous to film at all, but I get nervous to stream. And I was talking to somebody else who does like the same thing I do recently, and they were like, I get nervous to film, but not nervous to stream at all. I'm like, what? I feel like getting nervous to stream makes more sense because it's live. Hello. I thought you changed your bangs or something. No, I'm just nervous. It's just been too long. It's been too long. Oh my God. By the way, Baron, thank you for the 9 months. Guys, I'm so sorry. It's been forever. I'm embarrassed. I can't speak. I'm embarrassed about how long it's been. It's been 84 years. It does feel that way. It does feel that way. This is actually just a shirt, not a sweater, but thank you. I got it at a thrift store, and it is very comfy. I am back in Los Angeles. Ridley is so cute on the sofa, isn't he? He's so cute. Coda's actually at a vet appointment right now, which is why he's not here. Poor baby. Dave's back. Dave is back. Dave is back. Back in LA. Stay golden sign. Oh, the camera moved a little bit since I filmed last. I had a little more space here earlier. It's gone. Oh well. Oh my goodness. Definitely feel rusty. You survived Burning Man, y'all. Okay. When that happened, when we found out it was on the news while we were there, I was like, I wonder if my community is wondering if I'm alive. Probably not, but I was like, I wonder if they're thinking, if they got the news too. Like, I had a Garmin phone with me, like a satellite phone, so I could like send urgent texts. So I like texted my mom, so she knew I was alive. Other than that, I was like, can't wait till I get out of here. I got out, I had 74 text messages. It's freaking insane. 13 years of waiting in Azkaban. I know, Danish Prince, it's been too long. Billy Morgan, thank you for the 12 months. Finally an excuse to use this in chat. Welcome back. Thank you. That is a year. My gosh. Thank you so much. 13 months, DJ Lowe. Thank you so much. Great to see you back and looking well. I do feel well, aside from just being a little nervous right now. I feel good. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Glad you're home safe. Me too. I mean, we were fine. We were totally fine. The media definitely... It's funny because the media wasn't saying anything that was like inaccurate really, but they were definitely like, the texts that I received from people, you would have thought that like the end of the world was happening. People were fine. Like, we were fine. I was fine. But like the media, it seemed like the media caused like fear and panic about it, but at the same time, when I would look at the facts they were reporting, all the facts they were reporting were true technically, but it was just the way they phrased it made it sound like it was scary. Although, to be fair, if it had rained on Monday, it would have been a lot scarier. We had a weather system miss us, so it was totally fine. But if it had rained on Monday, it would have been a lot worse. Oh no, the chat refreshed. I'm doing that thing again. So you missed the hurricane? I guess I did. I flew into LA right after the hurricane. Epimetheus. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name. Chris, thank you so much for the membership as well. Welcome to the Golden Nuggets. Same thing to you, Neovine. Oh, it looks like your first time. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining the Golden Nugget community that I have been absent from for a really long time. I'm sorry, guys. How was your summer? It was good. It was good, you know. The end was kind of Busy, we are so wanting to hear everything about Burning Man. Dude, I'm here to chat with you guys. I'm here to catch up. This is gonna be mostly just a chatty catch up kind of stream. I don't know if we're gonna play a game at all. I just kind of wanted to catch up with you guys because it's been way too freaking long. So I'm here to share the stories that I can share. My summer was good. After I took a break, I went and watched my brother-in-law get married. That was a really sweet wedding. It was one of the sweetest weddings I've been to in a really long time because like my husband's family, they're from this really small town, like this really small, close-knit town. And the woman he's marrying is also from that town, and they went to high school together. They didn't date in high school, actually. They dated like once the COVID pandemic started, they started dating. Like they reconnected because of COVID, and both being back home. And it was just such a sweet wedding because so many people knew each other for so many years. And I feel like I've just been welcomed into this group of like people because, you know, marrying Tyler. But I feel like I know a lot of these friends now. I've seen them every holiday season, and it was just such a warm and cozy and sweet wedding. Like it truly was so sweet. And like I got to help with stuff during the wedding, which like, although weddings can be stressful, like you feel so much more a part of it when you can like help. I don't know, at least I do. And so it just really felt like this just beautiful homegrown kind of wedding. I don't know. It was really, really lovely. And it was so fun. People danced so hard. It was such a good time. Like me and Tyler really let loose. And then we came back to LA and had 2.5 days to pack for Burning Man. It's wild. Absolutely wild. We were definitely worried. Oh God. No. I kind of thought maybe. That's why I posted an Insta story as soon as I could. I wonder if the rain there coincided with the hurricane SoCal experienced a few weeks ago. Burning Man actually did get hit by that same hurricane, Kevin. That was before we got there. So during build week, people got hit with the hurricane rains and gate had to get shut down for 3 days. So they got hit on the front end and they got hit on the back end. It was a lot of rain for a desert. Which, to be fair, it is an alkaline lake bed, so it does get hit with rain and become a lake bed during the winter or spring sometimes, but usually it dries out and it does not rain in August. So people were not prepared. There were a lot of like old burner friends of mine who they had enough water and food and they were totally like prepared to take care of themselves for like an extra week, but they like hadn't packed their raincoat and they were like, I feel like a dumbass. Like, I know that any kind of weather can happen here. Why didn't I pack a raincoat? And I'm like, to be fair, if you've been coming here for like 10 years and it never rains. Although I had a poncho, so I was good. I had one of those little camping ponchos. That thing came in handy. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm doing that thing again where I'm just getting delayed with the oh my God, a lot's happened. Hold on, I'm sorry. Okay. Just a clickbait title. I just said, holy heck, it's been forever. Are you talking about my title for today? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, it's like how they overplayed Hurricane Hillary. Yeah. Thank God. That could have been bad too. We got lucky with that. Was there a gridlock on the way there? Oh, I heard about the climate protesters. I avoided that because I actually got into the event early because I was working this year. It was a wild year to be volunteering, let me just say. I mean, I volunteer at every burn, but this burn I volunteered a lot and I was a ranger. I'm not really, I don't know how much I can share about that experience, but it was funny. You have no, I'll get into what happened to Burning Man in a second. Let me just catch up real quick. Kalo, thank you for the 13 months. 13 months, let's go further in the adventure. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. I appreciate. Wow, I can't believe you and DJ Low have been here that long. That's freaking insane. Thank you for the support. It's considering how inconsistent I am here. You guys really don't have to, but I really do appreciate it. It's very, very kind. Sensational headlines, moderately interesting story. Yep, that's pretty much what it was. Talk birdie to me. That's a really cute name. I love your username. Oh my God. DJ Low, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. Oh my God, whose 28th birthday is it? I missed. Somebody's saying happy 28th birthday. I don't know whose birthday it is, but happy 28th birthday to whoever it is. Renar, Kevin, Doc Ops, Spicy Toast, Lucas Dominguez, Juliana Montenegro, Orsha DeWitt, Kevin, Rusty, NX, Black Sheep, Dino. Welcome to the Golden Nuggets. Oh my God, I'm so rusty at this. I hope you enjoy the emotes and you enjoy your time here. Hopefully I can add more emotes soon, but YouTube is so freaking annoying with their rules on when you get to add emotes. They're like, I've checked a million times and it's like you have to have like a certain number of members. I kind of think it's bogus. But whatever. Rusty, thank you so much for the super chat. 10 pounds. Well, hello there. You're home. Hey, yay. Here's a little cash to keep the channel going. I got my second year psychology exam results when you were away. 87% pass rate for this guy. Congratulations. Congratulations. You are well on your way to being a psychologist. I don't know what you're gonna do. Are you gonna psychology exam? What can you be a psychiatrist when you study psychology? I don't know what you're trying to do, but congratulations. I wish you the best of luck in what you have next planned. That was a weird way of phrasing that sentence. I'm so rusty right now, kind of like your username. Thank you for the super chat. That's a big deal though. Congrats. Oh my gosh. Oh, Lord. Thanks. Thanks, Chris. Tyler, is it your birthday? Happy birthday! Are you a Libra? Or a Virgo? Probably a Virgo. I love Virgos, but I'm a Libra. But my best friend is a Virgo, so. Anyway, you probably don't even like astrology. Adithep J, thank you for the super chat. €5. I love seeing the different currency symbols. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Shalom Alechem. Shalom, Dennis. It is fine. No one can pronounce it. Epimetheus. I don't even know what that means. Do you plan on playing Baldur's Gate? Oh my God. What is going on with Baldur's Gate 3, y'all? Everyone is playing that game. Listen, I have to play Red Dead. If I try to start Baldur's Gate 3, listen, I actually have thought about like maybe going offline and trying Baldur's Gate 3 just to see if I like it and if I like it playing it on stream, because I don't want to like commit to trying something new on stream if I'm not gonna like really like do it, you know what I mean? But I have thought about it. I did talk to my brother-in-law about it, not the one that got married, the other one is playing Baldur's Gate 3, so we were deep in conversation about it, and he was like, you need to play this on stream. He was like, I might even start streaming it. I'm like, he's a doctor. I'm like, you're a doctor. Like, you can do both. Like, it's not that hard to stream, but like, you're a little busy. So we were chatting about that, and he said it's really good. I miss that chair. I miss this chair too, actually. I like the other chair. Aesthetically, it's really nice, but this chair, I can recline it. I can't recline the other one, so I like this one a lot. My younger brother just got married too. Aw, congrats, Doc Op. I hope you like the new addition to your family. The last time you were live, I was like 2. I know, it's been forever. When is my birthday? My birthday's coming up very soon. Very soon. Next month, y'all, next month. And it's a big one. I don't really want to admit it, but I've told y'all how old I am already, so there's no point in hiding it. I'm turning 30 next month. It's crazy. I'm leaving my 20s. I actually felt like I was 30 for the last like 3 years. I'm not even exaggerating. Like when my YouTube channel started to take off, I felt like I was 30. So it doesn't really feel that different. Last Sunday, one of my best friends got married too. It is the time, you know, it's wedding season right now. How about some good old solitaire? Man, I haven't played solitaire since I was like 12. Have you seen Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey? I have not, Chad. I have not. I did kind of put it on my list though. I have not seen that. I always drink too much at weddings. Oh no, the chat refreshed. Hold on. No. Oh, I lost it. Oh, Lucas. Wait, no. He didn't say that. Who said it? Wait, where did it go? Oh, LJ said that. Weddings can be tough. I always drink too much. I feel that. I do feel that. Do you have any crazy stories of this summer? Really, just the Burning Man stuff was kind of funny. It was just funny to be a part of the news cycle, you know? Like, oh God, what can I share on this live stream that won't get me demonetized? I'll have to think about it. No, I just want to catch up on chat a little bit, but then I'll get into telling y'all about my experience. I just like missed you guys, honestly, so I'm enjoying catching up with all of y'all. I made a 1-second video of myself and I want to send it to you on social media, but on which platform? I mean, you can try on Instagram, but I'll be totally honest with you. I don't always check my DMs. Yeah. I would also say you could tag me on Instagram, but that will be even less likely that I'll see it because I don't check my Instagram every day even. I check my Instagram like every 3 or 4 or 5 days. I'm pretty bad about it. I wish I could be better, but at the same time, I kind of like the fact that I have a very like separated life from social media, but I really should be better about it. Weather's gonna be changing very quickly in the next decade or so. Yeah. Let's not talk about that. I don't want to think about those things. Alpha24Gamer97, thank you so much for the super chat. Do my eyes deceive me? Nat is back in live streaming. Your eyes do not deceive you. Glad you made it. Me too, man. Me too. Thank you so much for the super chat. I am so happy to be back. I have truly wanted to stream for so freaking long. It's been way too long. Are you, out of curiosity, are you ever a tiny bit annoyed by last names that people give as first names to their children? Stone, Michaela, Lincoln, etc. Not really. Not really. I mean, Stone is kind of a weird first name. Lincoln, though, I don't mind. Yeah, I don't really mind. I actually have a name that I like that could be a last name, but I like it as a first name for a kid. I'm not gonna tell you guys though, unless I have a kid. Then maybe you'll find out. So I'm probably one of those annoying people that would do that. Like a national park ranger? No, cause you know, I'm not employed by the government. I'm not even employed by Burning Man. And I'm not qualified to do that. There's a fly on my desk. I got it. It was a little fly. Sorry, little fly. I basically got trained in de-escalation and like conflict resolution, and just was there as like a volunteer to like help people answer questions, get directions in the city if they got lost, and help with maybe some more serious stuff. But yeah, that's kind of what it's like to be a ranger at Burning Man. It's not like being an official, really. You're just still a volunteer with just slightly more training. Yeah, the protesters. So I heard about that a little bit. Somebody mentioned to me, did you hear about the climate protesters? And I thought they meant like a prank at the event, and I didn't really understand. And then I got home and saw a video from Free News TV, Freedom News TV, something like that. They filmed it. Honestly, the filming of that looked like it was staged. Like, it looked like a mockumentary because it was just so absurd. If you guys haven't seen that video, you should go watch it. The clear audio is insane. That person really just got right up in it and filmed the whole thing, and it was wild. Like, it was wild. I was not there for that. Those protesters were ridiculous, but I also think one of the cops escalated a little bit too much. It's a wee bit too much. But what those people were doing was not cool. You can't really block a public road. You could cause a lot of problems by doing that, and they were causing problems. So yeah, crazy situation. Hello, Adithep. Hello there. Neovine, thank you so much for the super chat. This is my first YouTube live stream ever. Welcome. Thank you so much for popping in. I'm giving you a heart for that. Thank you so much. I think this is a new feature where I can heart super chats. That's cool. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the first ever stream that you're catching. Who's texting me? Hello? Oh, it's okay, I can wait. It's my birthday on August 31st. Oh, I thought they were saying it was your birthday today. I'm confused. Hi, Clinton. Yay, live stream. Welcome back. Thank you. Nat does live. Honestly, I try to. Jan. I don't know how you pronounce your name. Jan. I try to. I wish I was better. I'm a Gemini. I love Geminis too. Geminis get a bad rap, Cosmo. They really get a bad rap, and I get along well with Geminis. I really do. I don't understand what the problem is. I get along well with a lot of people though, so. That was a thing I learned about myself at this burn. I discovered what my secret power is, you guys. Like, I don't know if y'all feel this way. I don't know what that means. That's hilarious. Probably about astrology. It's okay. You don't need to. It's really just wasted information in my brain, wasted space. What was I saying? Oh, I discovered my superpower at this burn, and it's engaging with people and making them feel heard and seen, and like connecting with people on a deep level. And I know that probably sounds like really hippy-dippy and annoying or whatever, but it's true. Okay, how do I explain this? So like being a ranger, like you talk to a lot of people, and I felt like there were times when I had to go into situations that were like stressful, where somebody was having a really tough time mentally, emotionally, physically, and I didn't get to test it too much, but I got a few scenarios where it was really like intense, and I would go in and I was just really apparently good at calming people down immediately, which I was a little nervous about. But I just don't have like any social anxiety is what I've learned. Like a lot of people have social anxiety. I do not. And so I really just enjoyed like chatting with people or letting them talk to me and like making them feel better and letting them feel heard. And my husband Tyler was even like, my God, like you really just talk to so many people. Like they just love talking to you. And I want to go do something else, but you're just there talking to that stranger for like 30 minutes. But it's like it became a joke with our friends, because they were like, at the beginning, like Tyler was like, oh man, she does this with every person. And our friends were like, she's just really good at it. Like, let her live. It's fine. And then by the end of the burn, they were like, oh my God, it's every person wants to talk to her. So they were getting annoyed, but I was like, you can just leave me. Like, you can just leave me here with this stranger. It'll be fine. So I discovered that that's my superpower, is just connecting with people and making them feel heard. Which is probably an annoying superpower to some, but for me, I like it. I enjoy it. Hi, Michael. I'm a Libra too, Michael. Hi, yay, Libras. I'm a Libra. My birthday's October 9th. Oh my God, Chris, very close to mine. Cavecast, thank you so much for the super chat. Hi, Natalie. As a fellow content creator, what has been your biggest challenge? Your reactions are super entertaining, and I've been watching for a while. Keep it up. Biggest challenge. Thank you for the super chat. I hope you are enjoying your time as a content creator. I don't know what kind of content you make, if it's reactions or what, but maybe it sounds like a podcast from the title. Biggest challenge. I think a big challenge that I still struggle with is the guilt of not being perfect. That sounds so annoying, but it's true. Like, I feel guilty a lot for a lot of things. I'm slouching. I need to stop slouching. This isn't good. I feel guilty for a lot of things. I was raised by a woman who was formerly Irish Catholic who converted to Judaism. So my household had a lot of guilt. I like to say that I was raised with double the guilt. And it's true. Like, I genuinely feel so awful at even the possibility of doing something wrong. And I think you have to learn very quickly to like that only you can only you can pilot your own ship as a content creator. Like, you can get advice from other people, you can take notes from other people that you respect, and you can try to like, you know, take inspiration from others, but there's only one you. And so you have to do what feels right to you. And if somebody's coming in and telling you that you're doing something wrong, unless it's something like really, really, really bad, like illegal or generally really creepy, unless it's like something like that that's, you know, in line with like maybe you should get canceled and shouldn't have a platform, like something that's dangerous, you know. If it's just somebody doesn't like the way you do stuff and they're, you know, leaving mean comments or whatever, you don't need to take on that guilt. You don't need to like appease that person or feel bad. You also don't need to run your channel any certain way. Like when I started, I felt like, oh my God, I'm such a bad person for not reading all the comments or all the messages all the time, or not posting more, or not streaming with a regular schedule, or not doing X, Y, or Z. And I realized that like I'm just not the kind of person who wants to make my entire life about YouTube. I like having it be a part of my life, but all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Name that movie. I really am that person though. I'm not gonna murder anyone. I'm just, I truly am the kind of person though, where like if I make my entire life about work, I become depressed. I become truly miserable to be around. And so I had to learn to like create that space and not feel guilty about creating that space for myself. And it's still something I work on. Even yesterday, I was talking to Tyler about something I feel like I might be doing wrong, and it was like a hypothetical, like what if I get called out for X? And he's like, Natalie, one, like you need to relax, like nothing's even happening, and two, like you're not doing anything wrong, like you need to just stop. So it's something I battle with all the time, is just feeling guilty about hypothetically doing something wrong and being perceived in a way that doesn't feel authentic to who I actually am. But you just kind of have to like make peace with the fact that not everyone's gonna get you, and you don't need to take on guilt for other people's expectations of you. That's a really long-winded answer, but I feel like that's my biggest challenge, because guilt is like at my core of who I am as a person. I feel guilty all the time. Aquarius! Sorry. Sorry, I saw somebody write Aquarius here and then I just had an intrusive thought. Aquarius. Oh my God. Sorry, the chat refreshed. Adithep, welcome to the Golden Nuggets. Thank you for joining as well. I really appreciate that. I hope you enjoy the emotes. The orange chair was a vibe though. Oh yeah, it's like more like a cognac brown. I'm so annoying. It was like, do you mean the brown leather chair from New York? I'm sure you guys will see it again because we'll have to go back. So I'm a hybrid between Scorpio and Sagittarius. I feel that. All hail the passionate and powerful Scorpio. Yeah, don't mess with Scorpios, y'all. My mom's a Scorpio. You don't want to mess with her. Okay, she's a big mama bear. My uncle's gonna have a baby soon. Congrats, that's exciting. Nat's big 3-0. Oh my God, you were turning Jurassic Park years old next month. Yeah, oh my God. I thought about that when I saw Jurassic Park was 30 years old this summer. I was like, oh, great, me too. I would like to remember my 30s. Oh, thanks, Lucas. That's very nice of you. She looks 24 easy. No, that's very flattering. I don't think so. Maybe just with the camera and the lighting. Dave is looking thin. I know. Dave has been sad. All alone. Very creaky, actually. Dave's very creaky. I got married in August. Just celebrated my ivory anniversary. Congratulations. I didn't know. So 14th is the ivory anniversary. I know there's like a bronze anniversary, and I don't know what they all are though. Which is which. You should watch the Evil Dead trilogy in October. You're right, I should. It is on my list. I don't know. I didn't realize it was a whole trilogy. I guess I thought it was just one movie. Or I thought there was a series maybe, but I didn't know it was a trilogy. Anything can get you demonetized. True. True. I love it when people say I'm only reading super chats when I'm literally so delayed in the entire chat because I'm going through and reading all of it. How is summer already over? It's just gross. I know, so fast. Although I like the fall more, to be honest. Fire Knight, thank you for the super chat. Glad to see you're back, Nat. By the way, I restarted Red Dead Redemption 2 because you started to play and I already finished the campaign. Why are you going? Why? Why you gotta do that to me? Why you gotta make me feel like that? I can't wait to see you play it again. Thank you for the super chat. I know I need to, maybe you can help me with the controls, cause I need help. Are you going to Hollywood Horror Nights this year? Maybe. I went last year and it was kind of lame. I'm not gonna lie, Cinethan, it was kind of lame. My friend asked if we wanted to go again, the friend that I went with last year, and I was like, I would go, but I want to ride the rides and not do so much of the haunted houses, because the haunted houses were freaking lame. Like, all you did was just walk through in a large group of people, so you weren't spread out. You were basically just walking through in this constantly moving line. And so, like, you'd see the jump scares coming up ahead because you'd hear people scream and you'd know, oh, right there's gonna be a jump scare. So it kind of like made it not so scary. Although I did get drunk because I was nervous that it would be scary, and then it ended up not being scary. So I was just drunk, walking around, like, laughing. Although I did make a character crack. There was a woman who was like playing this like psychotic murderer. She was like sawing this body in half, like a fake body in half, and she'd like make eye contact with you. And while she made eye contact with me, she did it the whole time, and she was very like attractive, like stereotypically attractive, like crazy girl killer. And I just said to her, like, get it, girl, you so hot. And she laughed like audibly out loud, and they're not supposed to crack, and she was like, fuck. And then she went back to doing the role. And my friends were like, Natalie, like, you shouldn't make them crack, like they're gonna get fired. I'm like, oh, sorry. So that was how drunk I was. I was just unhinged. So maybe I would go. I don't know. I would rather just ride the rides if I go. Happy Death Day. That's true. I'd like to see Happy Death Day too. Scratch my last comment. Yeah, exactly. I always read the chat. I missed your streams. I missed being here, Khalid. Thank you for being here. I missed connecting with you guys. We need more reaction videos. I'm trying. I know. You know what's also happening? I have like 3 videos that are edited, ready to be released for YouTube right now. But one of them is under dispute because it got copyright claimed and blocked. That's what's been happening to me lately. So the videos that I've been spreading out the releases because they keep getting claimed. I'm actually not making that much money right now off of my videos because it's fine. Like, this isn't like a pity party thing, by the way. Like, obviously I'm doing fine. I'm just saying, like, I'm getting a lot of claims and it's kind of a bitch. And a lot of the claims that are really killing me are the ones where the video is getting completely blocked. So then I have to go through the dispute process, and sometimes it goes really fast. Sometimes it takes a full 30 days. So that's why I'm not releasing a lot of videos right now. Yeah. Hopefully it stops happening, but it's been pretty bad. Blocking public roads just waste gas. I know, that was like a whole point people were making. Like, you guys are protesting for the climate and you're like trying to get burners on your side, but all you're doing is burning more carbon, like fossil fuels. That's all you're doing is releasing more CO2 into the atmosphere. Like, great job. Great job. Also, you just turned all burners against you. Like, burners were already on your side, on your side, and you're just turning them against you more. I think I'm a Libra, no idea what that means. It means you're awesome, Yanni. That's what it means. My girlfriend and I share the same birthday, not the same year though. Aw, that's really cute, Kalo. You guys can have a birthday together and an anniversary together. That's really cute. No social anxiety. Wow, that's so impressive. Yeah, well, I guess I was nervous before I started the stream. Now I'm not nervous anymore. But that's like less about socializing and more about stage fright. Like, I'll get like mild stage fright. Even when I was in theater, I would get mild, like, butterflies sometimes before going out on stage. But then it goes away the second you start performing. Like, it goes away very quickly. So it's kind of like that feeling. But yeah, I don't have social anxiety. Like, at Burning Man, I had to go up to a couple people in some really intense scenarios, and people would just be like, okay, just like go initiate conversation with them, see what they need. And I was like, okay. And I would just walk in and be like, hey, how you doing? What's your name? I'm Skittles. You know, that's my playa name. So I would tell them my name do the whole thing, and it was great. And people were like, wow, like most people like need a little encouragement to initiate. I'm like, no, that's the part I'm confident in. The part I'm not confident in is always knowing what needs to be done. Like having all of the knowledge and experience, you know what I mean? But you go tell me to talk to somebody, I have no problem doing that. But I realize that that's not super common this day and age. I really am an extrovert, like textbook definition of an extrovert. I like thought that I was becoming more introverted after like quarantine because I was like, oh, I'm okay with being home and stuff because I was pouring myself into YouTube and really busy with work and I was enjoying all that. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm like an introvert now. No, this summer I realized I'm still very much an extrovert because we would see people like every other weekend. We were very busy traveling and stuff, but the in-between times, the downtime in between where we weren't going and doing stuff every weekend, where I was just like working or cleaning or doing stuff at home, I felt like sad because I wouldn't see anyone but like Tyler. And I love Tyler, but I missed human interaction. Like we were kind of out in the woods a little bit, and I genuinely was like, oh, I thought I was built for this and I'm not. Like it was tough. I'm hot right now. All of a sudden it got really hot. I feel like I need to turn the air conditioning down. Up, blast it more, but turn the temperature down. I feel like I need to change it. Happy hugs, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, Will. Happy hump day. Your superpower is greatly working because everybody is here right now. Apparently, hopefully, hopefully you all feel heard, even though I'm the only one talking. I mean, you're all talking just in a chat, so it feels like I'm talking to myself, but I'm not. October 8th, Ultimate X James. Wow, so many early October birthdays. I love it. Scariest movie reaction so far? Jake, what's my scariest movie reaction so far? The Thing. Is it The Thing? It's The Thing. The Thing. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about that one. That one messed me up pretty bad. Oh, that's very nice of you to say, Lucas. For me, you're as perfect a content creator as you can be at the same time being authentic with us. Oh, the chat refreshed. Of course. I appreciate that. You know, you can't ever be perfect. No one can be perfect. So there's no point in trying. However, that won't stop me from automatically resorting to feeling guilty about not being perfect. But I feel like everybody struggles with stuff like that. Not everybody, but a lot of people do. So. Also, I'm a Vikings fan, so I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow against Philly. Oh, movie Mike. Oh, what's gonna happen? Honestly, like, we didn't look that great against the Patriots. The Patriots kind of came out. We didn't look as good as I would have hoped we looked. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Although, I'm grateful I'm not a Jets fan. That's all I'm gonna say. Sucks to be a Jets fan right now. You don't have to please anyone. I, for one, am just glad that we get to know you through this community. Well, I'm glad that like live streams exist so I can interact with you guys in a different way. Since I'm so bad at answering messages, this feels like a way where I can actually connect with you guys in a way that works for me mentally, like health-wise. Because if I'm like constantly reading messages, for some reason that's like, I don't know, like I can do it a little bit with Patreon and read the comments over there, and I'll read comments on YouTube, but then like going through DMs on Instagram just feels like too much sometimes. Sometimes I'll do it, but it does feel like I need that space. But for some reason, live streaming feels a lot more enjoyable, and like I'm actually getting to connect with you guys in a fun way. So I'm really grateful that there's stuff like this to do. Fellow convert to Judaism here. Wow. I feel like, sorry, I just got really excited. I don't meet a lot of converts. The guilt and weight of two different backgrounds is a real thing. My last name is Hebrew, by the way. Oh, yeah, so fair, yeah. Not obviously Jewish, but it means scribe. Yeah. Oh, well, that's cool. Very cool. Yeah, the double guilt is a real thing. It's like you think you've escaped it, and then it just gets worse. especially like people who convert usually are a lot more religious than people who didn't. So like my mom is actually like more devout than me or my dad or my sister, I feel like. Just because you kind of take it for granted a little bit when you're born into it versus when you convert, you feel like you're committing, you're giving something up, you're making an active decision as an adult to change a part of your life, and it's really drastic and dramatic. And so ironically, like my mom is the one who cared more about me or my sister dating somebody that was Jewish. And when I married someone that was Jewish, like she loves Tyler, so she was happy, of course, but like had more of an issue with it than my dad did, you know, or at least from what it appeared. Because my dad also, you know, is a sweetheart and probably just wouldn't say anything if he did care. But there's definitely more of like a commitment to be made when you convert. And so I think she definitely cares more about certain traditions being upheld, which is good. I'm glad I have a member of my family who does, you know, remind me like, okay, like celebrate the high holidays, Natalie. Speaking of which, Rosh Hashanah is on Saturday, and I have no plans, so I'll probably do something for Yom though, Yom Kippur. I'm only 20, and yet somehow I'm almost as old as you. I relate, Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon Tim the random raptor. Oh my God, your name is actually really long. I just kept going back, and I'm like, wait a minute, there's another word. I relate to that. Where's your dog? Well, Ridley was on the couch. He's now under the desk because that's where he likes to be. Coda's at the vet. Poor baby. He's at the vet. He's okay. He's just having a regular... Coda has a heart condition, so he's having his regular, like... He has to get, like, checked up every 9 months or so. So this is just a standard checkup. So hopefully it all goes well and the medication is still working that he's on. Schindler's List also is going to be making 30 years in November. Do you think you can do it? No. I said a long time ago, and I think I still stand by this. I mean, I know this isn't the smart decision. Like, it'd be smart to just suck it up and watch the movie. I think it'd be an ugly reaction for me. Like, I think I'd just be like a mess the whole time. And like, I know y'all think you want to see that, but like, imagine my like reaction to like Serenity, like the saddest moment in Serenity, or the saddest, or like the Red Wedding, and like imagine that for like an hour and a half. I don't think anyone wants to see that. I mean, granted, I don't know exactly how Schindler's List, the movie, feels as a story. I think it's Spielberg, right? So there's probably some sentimentality to it. So maybe I wouldn't actually cry that hard the whole time, but I don't think it'd be pretty. So I don't know. I've said in the past, like, I wouldn't do it. Maybe there's a world in which I would, but I don't know. I'm nervous about that one. World War II messes me up. Nat, do you already have a list of horror games for Halloween time? Actually, I did want to ask you guys a question. I didn't watch her play this, but I was watching a Valkyrie live stream, and I know she played a game called Parasocial. I skipped over that part of the stream because I think it's a solo horror game. Would y'all want to see me play that? I don't know what it's about. It looks like, I don't know, it's a Japanese or Korean game, I think. I don't know, but I haven't played it. So I could do that. I could go back to Alien Isolation. I also like think it'd be a lot of fun to get a group together to play. I forget what the game is called. It's been out for a really long time. Whatever. There's like I really want to do a group stream with some people, but we'll see if it actually happens. That's my hope. So yeah, I'm down to play some scary games. I mean, not really. I'm not excited about it, but I'm down to do it for you guys. All you need to figure out is how to do Deadeye. Yeah, people were mentioning that a lot, Kevin. So I clearly need to learn the Deadeye thing in Red Dead. Any vlog coming soon? I don't have any vlogs at the moment, Lucas. I I didn't want to film anything at Burning Man because one, decommodification is a thing. There are a lot of Burning Man vloggers. I don't really have a problem with any of them. I actually like watching Burning Man content. And I myself have a few videos about like prepping for Burning Man. But now that like my channel is doing well, I don't know. I don't want to do anything that feels like I'm commodifying Burning Man. Also, the main reason, honestly, is just that like I like being in the moment there and detaching from my phone and detaching from technology. Plus, there's so many vlogs already that people do on it. So I'm like, I don't think I'm really gonna add that much of a fresh perspective. I probably could have done a really great vlog this year, you know? But I just was like, no, I just wanna enjoy the moment. Oh God. Oh, do I answer this question? Okay. Are you going back to playing Hogwarts Legacy? So, don't hate me, guys. Don't hate me. I may have finished that game off stream. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. You know, it was just taking me too long to finish, and I didn't realize how long it was gonna take. And then I just was like, I just want to finish this because I don't think most people really care. I don't know. I got the vibe that like I was so behind everybody else that no one cared about it anymore, and that I should just finish the game. So I just finished the game like 2 days ago. I'm sorry. I'm actually gonna, oh my God, shit, hold on. Oh my God, the chat refreshed. Oh God, I'm sorry. Okay, I was gonna scroll down to like catch up with you guys, but there's more, hold on, there's more things here. Let me just do it this way. I think this is where we were at. Sorry, I don't know who's gonna be disappointed in me. Master Voto, thank you so much for the generous super chat. My gosh. V has been playing Red Dead Redemption 2 and has problems with the controls too. She has had 2 horses and killed Root Beer last Friday. I hope you will name your horse Cream Soda when you play again. Maybe I will. That would be really funny. Thank you so much for the super chat. And yes, I did see that she's playing the game as well. And you sent another super chat. My gosh. Also loved your Arachnophobia collab. So fun. Love when you made her jump by screaming because your headphone cord scared you. Yeah, that cord did scare me. Thank you again for the super chat. My gosh. And yeah, that was a fun time filming with her. Zanzibar White, thank you so much for the super chat as well. Glad to see you're back live. I think the whole instant feedback idea is part of what makes the live chat different. I agree. It's also just, yeah, like it feels like we're doing something together here and not just like posting something later to be enjoyed, but like hanging out. I don't know. I do enjoy that element of it a lot. Oh my God. I'm just going to catch up on super chats real quick, guys, so that I can see what y'all are saying in more real time, because right now I feel like I'm like 10 minutes delayed. Chris, thank you so much for the super chat. I hope you do a Blade 1 and 2 reaction for Halloween. I've never seen Blade. Thank you for the suggestion. I don't know much about those movies. Declan Malloy, thank you for the super chat as well. Wow, considering the Burning Man, love the Wicker Man as a perfect option for Nightmares, not the Nicolas Cage one. Yeah, I don't know if I've heard of that either. Interesting. Thank you for the suggestion. Connection to Burning Man. That's funny. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I'm caught up now. I'm sorry. How did you do against that elf? The elf? What elf? Do you mean the goblin? Because I never battled any elves. Oh my God. Dude, that one side quest with the elf that died though in the cave with the spiders, I was really sad about that. That made me really sad. I was like, this is like dark. And then so many people died at the end of the game. I was like, Jesus Christ, why is everyone dying? Sebastian's storyline was just really sad. Like really sad. I vote for Ori and Bramble. They are short games. Those are both on my list. Well, Yeah, Bramble, I remember you suggesting a while back, Kayla. Ori for sure is at least on my list. Outlast is the scariest game if you haven't had a heart attack yet. Is that a zombie game, Josue? That's a zombie game. I don't know. Sounds like it would be. Oh, Little Nightmare 3 is coming? Wait, I would actually be down to do that, Kalo, because I never played Little Nightmares 1, but I watched Valkyrae do Little Nightmares 2 a long time ago, and I was like, ooh, this looks like a fun game. So if Little Nightmares 3 is coming, I might have to do that, because like that actually looks like a horror game that would be more up my alley, because it's creepy and disturbing, but it's not like jump scary, really, you know? Oh, gosh. Will, and I get the excitement about meeting a convert. We're rare. What started me down my path was my babysitter, Esther, who was a Holocaust survivor. Kind soul, she helped make me who I was. Wow. My gosh, that's beautiful. It's so rare to have the opportunity to even meet a Holocaust survivor. I mean, nowadays it's like, it's really, really, really rare because, you know, it's been a long time. But to be raised by one, or like at least partially raised by one, that's like so, what an invaluable experience. Like, she must have just like had so much wisdom to offer you. I was lucky enough to meet a Holocaust survivor years ago when I was at Auschwitz, and it was a really, I don't even know what I would describe it as. Interesting, humbling, sad, beautiful experience. Oh my God. Declan, thank you so, oh, I already thanked you. Thank you again. Speed read. Okay, everyone freeze. The elf, yeah, the elf. What elf? Yeah, what elf? Which elf? Wait. Do I remember an elf? Did I kill an elf? Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what elf. What elf? The goblin. Ah, you meant the goblin. Yeah, the goblin dragon. Pretty intense. Ranrock dragon. That took me a minute to figure out, although I didn't die. It took me a minute to figure out the mechanics of the game. However, I figured, like that battle, but I found a rock to hide behind. And the game kind of glitched and it didn't know how to get me behind a rock. So I just hid behind that rock until I figured out what I needed to do. And then I was good from there on out. Oh, it was actually, I will say, I didn't have enough potions going into the battle. Like I had like 15, but I clearly needed like 20. So I almost died, like at the very, very end. I do feel kind of guilty for not like filming it or streaming it, but I was literally like had 1 HP left. Like if it had hit me at all, I was gonna die immediately. And the monster had like 1 HP left. And I was like, why aren't you dead? Like it was very suspenseful at the very, very end. So I almost died, but I didn't. When you finish Alien, you have to finish Alien Isolation. I was so sad when you stopped playing that. Yeah, I'll try to revisit that for you, Roland. I think it would be a good thing to revisit Halloween season. Phasmophobia would be fun. Yeah, Phasmophobia would be fun if I get a group together again. I'll consider it. Otherwise, I feel like I'm done with that game, to be honest. Like the game didn't really hook me, but it's fun to play with like the right group, you know? You look so good, Nat. Recuperate. Oh, thanks. Did I look bad before? I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing you. Thank you. I do feel good. I do feel relatively recuperated. Although I've been like weirdly tired lately. I don't know why. I feel like excited to get back to work, and I feel inspired again and energized and like excited to focus on work and stuff and streaming and content creation. But I still feel weirdly tired. Like I could sleep 10 hours every night, and I don't know why that is. I feel like it's probably because I've been eating too much sugar, honestly, if I had to guess, or too much caffeine. I've been having a lot of caffeine recently. I need to cut back. So it's probably, excuse me, it's probably that. A lot of scary game suggestions in the chat. Oh boy. Have you played older Harry Potter games? No. Oh my fucking God, you hid behind a rock. I died 4 times. I would have died 4 times if I didn't find that rock. That rock saved me. To be fair though, guys, y'all probably played the game in hard mode and I didn't. I played it in like middle mode. I didn't play it in the hardest mode. I played it in like an easier mode. I don't know which mode, but Declan, thank you so much again for the super chat. Another Nightmare suggestion. Noticed in the Discord it says you've never seen Scream. You're right. Let me make sure that's on my short list. You're right. Scream, absolutely. I know it's on my list, but let me make sure it's like on my short list. Isn't Scream? No, Scream is scary, but isn't Scary Movie based off of Scream? It's like a parody of Scream, I thought. I just made sure it's on my short list. It was not, so thank you. Among Us, dude, I would totally play Among Us if I had a fun group to play with. I feel like Among Us is always like a classic you can return to. Ah, the chat, stop refreshing. You should do a tier list of all the movies you saw this year. That's actually not a bad idea, Michael. Or maybe like after this Nightmare season, do it with all the scary movies that I've ever seen. La 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 la. Will you ever consider watching Peaky Blinders? Absolutely. I don't remember if I included that on my most recent poll or not, but it's definitely on my list. I feel like I did include it on my recent poll, but maybe I didn't. I thought I did though. But yeah, it absolutely would definitely consider watching it. Until Dawn is a short butterfly effect game. It will be fun. I don't know what butterfly effect means. I don't trust you. Talk to Me is great, and it's made by YouTubers. Talk to Me. Oh, it's not. Oh. Not on Steam, but there is something. There's something that said talk dirty to me on Steam. I'm not gonna look at that. Talk to Me game. It's not on Steam, but interesting. Have you seen Scary Movie? I haven't, Chris. I've seen like clips of it, like when you randomly tune into MTV or something and they're playing it. Like I remember I had seen clips of it. Cause isn't Anna Faris in it? I'm pretty sure. I think I've seen clips of it, but I've never seen a whole Scary Movie. Classic Universal monster flicks. That's also a good idea. The Last of Us. I've already watched oh, you mean playing it? No. Listen, I will either play The Last of Us or watch it. You're not gonna get both. You can't get both. I'm sorry. That's too much for me. And now that I know what happens in the first game, I'm good. No, thank you. It wrecked me. And it's just, I feel like the game would be too immersive. I'm so tired. I'm not sure if I can stick around for that long. That's fine, Adithep. Go rest. Please. Sleep is important. The stream will stay up unless something crazy happens. But the stream should stay up. So if you can just put it on later and pretend, you know. That's what I do with a lot of live streams, honestly. Because I'm a lurker. I'm a bit of a lurker. Talk to Me is a horror movie, not a game. Oh! Movie. Actually, it has pretty high Rotten Tomato scores. Although, I heard that that's not accurate anymore. I actually have been meaning to make a video about that. About the Vulture article about Rotten Tomato scores being skewed. I would like to make a video about that. Hopefully I get around to it. I'm gonna add Talk to Me to my list. Talk to Me. Cover looks creepy. If you don't finish Red Dead, you have to play The Last of Us. Well, that settles it then. I will finish Red Dead. I just have to figure out Deadeye. Nat constantly being behind on it. And chat is a canon event, just waiting for the technical difficulties. Yeah, true. It's how you know. Technical difficulties is the next one. What's the third one? Getting up and leaving y'all alone with Dave for a little while. Which, speaking of which, I'm actually gonna do. It's gonna take 2 seconds, so I'm not gonna be gone that long. I just wanna turn the AC on a little bit more. I'm freaking hot. Okay. All right, I just did it. Ugh. It's just warm in here. We don't talk about Rotten Tomatoes scores. That's weird. I only just got the notification, even though you've been streaming for a while now. You know what? That's YouTube for you, Easy Taco. But thank you for making it. I appreciate you making it to the stream. Yeah, that's YouTube for you. I'm surprised you got the notification at all. Honestly. Have you seen Barbarian? I have not. Wasn't Talk to Me made by A23? Oh, maybe. A24, you mean? Maybe. Oh, yeah, I think it was. That would be a great one then. Angry Men? You want me to react to 12 Angry Men? Angry Men 12? Is it the same as 12 Angry Men? I've seen that play, and I have seen like the old version of the well, I don't know if there's a new version of 12 Angry Men actually. It's a black and white movie, right? I've seen that years ago. Years and years and years ago. This probably won't make it to Nightmares this year, but I highly recommend Nope. If you can handle Get Out, then you can definitely handle Nope. I heard decent things about Nope, Kevin. Thank you for the suggestion. I've heard like the synopsis for Us. Is that what the movie was called? Us? The second movie that he made. And I wouldn't want to watch it from what I've heard about it, but I don't really know anything about Nope, and I've heard people tended to like it, so I'm open to that. My question is, who is surprised that critics were paid off? Oh, nobody's surprised. Like, I'm not surprised at all. I don't think it's really hard, I think, to get surprised this day and age. You know, I feel like all of our collective bars are so low for companies and human behavior. I feel like all of our bars are on the floor, you know? I mean, not really. Like, I do have standards for how people treat me or my loved ones, but when it comes to, like, companies, my bar is on the floor. Will you do a collaboration movie reaction with another YouTuber? I definitely am open to it, Orsha. I just prefer to, like, do reactions with people in person as opposed to, like, over a Skype call or something. So that's why that was the first one I've ever done, because Vicuña was in New York and I'm in New York, and there you go. Also, we'd been in contact before already, so it kind of wasn't that weird to reach out to her. Although I wouldn't really feel that weird reaching out to most people. Nope is a fantastic film and not full-blown horror, so you could definitely handle that one. I'll make sure that's on my short list too. I have not seen the Barbie movie, Declan. I have not. I really want to see it, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm kind of trying to react to like older stuff right now, or stuff that's like, I don't know. We'll see. I want to watch it. I want to watch Oppenheimer too. But we'll see. Technically what I do falls under reviews, and so I've gotten like a clear from SAG for what I do. But also SAG is so weird, so I don't know. I'm like avoiding stuff that's been released more recently right now. But also what I do has been deemed Like, I've gotten an email and it's like I fall under a review and critique. So I don't know. It's really vague and strange. SAG is very vague with everything that they do. So I don't know. A23, the younger sibling of A24. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Uh-oh. Hello, Natalie. Hello, Harrison. Hello, Rick. Do you have the Conjuring movie on your list? I do. It's on my short list, too. I'm just adding nope. I forgot to do that. There we go. Have you seen Young Frankenstein? Yes. Frau Blucher. Okay, anyway, sorry. Yeah, we quote that in my family a lot. We love Young Frankenstein. I haven't seen that in years, though. I do love Young Frankenstein. American Psycho for the October reaction. Yeah, I've never seen American Psycho, although I do know like about a key scene now because Tyler went as, that's the Christian Bale movie, right? Tyler went as that character for last Halloween, and so then he was like, I'm showing you the movie, and I'm like, or showing me that scene, and I'm like, all right, you're spoiling it, but that's fine. He insisted. He doesn't normally do that, so I was like, all right. Would love to hear your thoughts on the Hollywood strikes from someone actually in the industry. You know, I know I haven't really talked much about it at all. Well, I haven't talked at all about it, really, Declan. I think part of it was like I was taking a break, and then part of it was like I was just letting things play out a little bit and seeing what was going on. I think from the strike perspective, like I agree with everything they're striking for, especially something like predatory self-tape practices. That's been a problem for years. Like that's been a problem since I was in casting. And I think I'm glad they're striking because there's a lot at stake here, and I really want them to win. It's also tricky though. Like one thing that a lot of people who aren't in the industry don't see, especially from the perspective of like a nobody like me, like a small actor, because like I got my SAG card through acting, not through influencing, but through acting. And a thing that a lot of people don't see is they don't see like how frustrating it actually is sometimes to deal with SAG. You know, they have a lot of protections, which is great, and they ensure that actors get paid better, but it also can severely limit the kind of work you can do. It severely limited me in getting a commercial agent. I was not able to retain a commercial agent because most commercials are non-union, so I couldn't even book a commercial job, let alone get an audition. Meanwhile, before I got my SAG card, I had no problem retaining a commercial agent. So it was, but then the thing is, you're forced to get your SAG card at a certain point after you've worked enough union jobs, which is a blessing and a curse because you want to work union jobs because you get paid better there, and depending on the kind of job it is, you could get royalties, but it also comes with this like this double-edged sword of having a really hard time sometimes getting work, especially if you're a nobody, you know, you're not a name. So it's tough. Like I want them to win the strike, but I also feel for a lot of my friends, and I'm even in a gray area right now where I'm very confused about what I can and can't do. I emailed SAG to look into it more, and the answer they gave me seemed kind of like what I'm doing is reasonable and fair, but also seemed gray at the same time, because that's just what SAG does, is every answer they give is vague, because it's just like, it just is. Like I've never ever gotten a clear answer from SAG on anything in my life. So it's very frustrating, but at the same time, like I stand with everybody who's on strike, and I think that everything they're striking for is like a really valid concern, and CEOs are massively, massively, disgustingly overpaid right now. So it's a complex issue. Like, and I think a lot of the actors that are my friends feel the same way, where they're like, of course I'm on strike, but I'm really frustrated because like SAG has never helped me. And that's kind of the situation that a lot of my friends are in, because I'm not really friends with like any A-list celebrities, you know what I mean? And they're hurting too, but it's different when you are a tiny little nobody actor who's just done a couple day player roles or a couple co-star roles, and you never benefited from health insurance through SAG. Like, I've never gotten health insurance through SAG ever. And dues are insanely expensive. It's just, the music's farting in your ears. What does it sound like? Wait a minute. I don't know. Maybe I missed it, but maybe you should get your ears checked. But yeah, so that's kind of like my abbreviated take on the whole thing. It's a complex issue. I've been given some answers that could be vague, but also make it seem like what I'm doing falls under review and critique, and so it's fine. Like, I'm not gonna go, like, if I went to something like Hollywood Horror Nights at Universal, I wouldn't promote it. I wouldn't put it on my Instagram story, because I know that that's not okay. I wouldn't, I couldn't go to Comic-Con right now for a show. Like, I was invited to New York Comic-Con last year for a CBS show. I couldn't go because I was invited to a wedding. I was really bummed about it. Although I was happy that I got to go to the wedding for my family, because that was more important to me. If I was invited to something like that again right now, I would have to say no. Other people are saying yes to it. That's fine. I would have to say no. So that's kind of where I'm falling right now, where what I'm doing work-wise is still okay because it's review and critique, but I wouldn't overtly go to an event hosted by a production company that struck to promote a new thing they're releasing. It's kind of tricky. And I know people who are still doing that, and there's no shade to them. It's just what I'm choosing to do. Sleep Gang, thank you so much for the super chat. Unsure if you're still streaming Red Dead 2. I am going to. But I recommend Starfield or Cyberpunk, as they have a lot of complex stories I think you dig. You know what's funny? The only thing I've heard about, thank you for the super chat again, by the way. The only thing I've heard about Cyberpunk, or sorry, not Cyberpunk. The only thing I've heard about Starfield is like, so I watch Asmongold, but I don't watch all of his videos. I just see like all of the thumbnails and titles about how Starfield is bad. And I'm like, is it actually bad? Or is this one of those things where people are saying it's bad and the hype that it's bad is more popular than like people actually playing the game? Like, is the game good? Because I am getting people suggesting it to me too, and I'm just like, I don't know what the consensus is on that. So basically he said, we reserve the right to hassle you later. You said it, not me. Zanzibar. It's just frustrating because they're vague, but at the same time, like, I really, really, really like want the strike to go well, because the things they're fighting for are really freaking valid. I would love to see your acting mode video on the channel, like you make for the sponsors. So, oh, like acting more? Oh, acting. Did you mean to write acting more? Wait, acting mode video on the channel. I'm not sure I understand what you mean, but I think you might just mean you want to see more skits, Lucas. I do enjoy doing those acted out sponsors. They're quite a bit more work. They usually add like a few hours of more work. So sometimes I don't always do them, but I do enjoy making the sponsorships more when I'm able to do them, because it just makes it more fun, you know? It's more goofy. Did you get stuck in the mud at Burning Man? My feet did. I didn't drive my car like an idiot, so I was fine. Listen, I'm not trying to say that everybody who panicked and tried to get out is an idiot. There were plenty of people who legitimately had to get out, or they were gonna lose their jobs. Their loved ones were depending on them. There were a lot of legitimate reasons as to why. Oh, I haven't talked about Burning Man at all. Holy shit, we gotta talk about Burning Man. Fuck. What am I doing? I gotta stop reading chat and talk about Burning Man. A lot of people did get stuck. I think there were a lot of people who panicked and left when they didn't really need to leave, and they should have just held out a couple more days. But there were a lot of people who were like, I got a flight, I gotta go. And I'm like, I get it, but if your car is a Subaru Outback, or even worse, like a Prius, because I saw a Prius. I saw a Prius that was stuck out there, like stuck in the middle of nowhere. Like these people just tried to off-road and cut the line, and they were stuck. Their car had been abandoned. It was rough. Like, you're not gonna make it in a Prius. What are you doing? You know, like there are some people who I'm like, you just really didn't think about this. And now your situation is worse because instead of waiting 2 days to a point where you could have driven out normally, you decided I'm gonna fucking try, and you didn't make it. Now your car's broken, like broken and stuck. And now you really can't get out. So I know people who ruined their rental cars. We had 2 people in our camp who they tried to leave Friday. That was when they were supposed to leave. And they didn't leave in time. They like packed up their entire camp, so their tents were totally broken down. They had left to go wait in the line, and the rain started. And we were like, ooh, I don't know if they got out. I also had a friend who had left around the same time, and we were also like, oh, I don't know if he got out. He got out. He made it. I think he broke some laws. I'm pretty sure he was. I'm pretty sure they probably told him to stop, and he just didn't and left. So he made it out. The other 2 people didn't. So because they couldn't drive their car, because there's a rule at Burning Man where, you know, once it starts to rain, all driving on the playa stops, because you're gonna mess up the land. And also it just makes everything such worse conditions after things dry, because now it's like a bumpy road as opposed to something that was like smooth if we all just like stop moving. Also, your car gets totally fucked up because the mud gets knocked up into your axles and can totally break wheels off of cars, destroy the undercarriage of a vehicle, like totally will destroy your car because it's like Play-Doh. It's like clay. It will get stuck to shit and break it. A lot of cars got fucked up. So the 2 friends that didn't get out ended up leaving their car out there and walking back to camp in the rain and mud. Ended up crashing in our other people's tents and stuff. And then 2 days later decided they were gonna try to leave again when things had dried a little bit more, and where the org was saying, like the official news was that the gate was still closed. However, rumors, they weren't really rumors, but news was going around that if you had a 4-wheel drive vehicle, that you were confident in your ability to drive, that they were not stopping people and they were letting them leave. And that was actually true. But the reason they were stressing 4-wheel drive vehicles was because there's a river. There were 2 rivers of mud and water that people would need to forge to get out. So some people got stuck in that. Our friends ended up making it out that day, but they again left too late, just a little too late, because it was starting to rain again on Sunday. That's when Sunday morning, they were like, I guess we're gonna go for it and see if we can get out. If they had left like 2 hours earlier than they did, they probably would have been fine, but they decided to leave and it started raining again right around when they left. I heard that their rental car got stuck. Did it get stuck or did it just get totally destroyed? I think it got stuck, and all of the lights on the dashboard were blinking and lighting up and like signaling that stuff was really wrong with the car. And apparently somebody was able to tow them out, get them onto the pavement to where they could drive to Reno, but they said the car was fucked. And I've not heard an update since, because I'm not really close friends with these people. I don't really know them that well, so I don't know what happened. Like, I'm imagining that they're gonna have to pay for a lot. Because usually rental car companies have policies that like the second you take the car off road, you void the insurance. So I don't know. I refunded Starfield. Interesting. To enjoy Starfield, you have to play around 10 to 13 hours minimum. Interesting. Sleep Gang. Thank you again for the super chat, Sleep Gang. Starfield's hate is way overblown. Is it a perfect game? No game is. True. I've been having to pick sides between space pirates or the government. It's neat. Oh, that sounds like fun. I don't know if I'll play it just because I have so many other things on my list, but it makes sense that the hate would be overblown. Fjord, I think. I think it's a fjord. Like in Norway, there are fjords of like beautiful areas of like rivers and that glacial waters that pass through mountains. Like, you know what I mean? I think that's a fjord. But then when you're crossing a river, I think it's forge. Ford? No, forge is when you do something with metal. Hold on. We're gonna figure this out. Do you ford a river? A ford is a shallow place with good footing where a river or stream may be crossed. Do you forge or ford a river? You can ford a raging river, or you can forge on or forge ahead, but you can't forge a river. That's why it's confusing, because you can forge on, but you don't forge the river, you ford it. Got it. All right, see, now we know. The more you know. It's ford, you ford a river. We got it. It's confusing though. You understand how it's confusing, right? Nope, I was wrong. Fjord is a thing. Yeah, fjord is a like a place, like a type of environmental thing. They're very beautiful. Harrison Ford the river. Yeah, what else about Burning Man, like before I move on, because I feel like I did want to tell you guys about my experience, but I like, so I won't talk about it too much because I feel like it's probably old news now and people don't care that much anymore, but I'll share a little bit of what my experience was like when the rains came in. Like the first part of the week was, sorry, I'm reading a comment. Considering how many people got stuck at Burning Man, the traffic wasn't nearly as bad in the Reno area. Yeah, you know, I don't even think the traffic was as bad at Burning Man. Like last year, there was a jam that got stuck for 12 hours in Exodus. That was like a thing. Like the news was kind of blowing it out of proportion. They were like, people are gonna have to wait up to 7 hours to get out. I was like, I waited 7 hours in 2019. I waited 5.5 this year. People waited 12 last year. Like, you talk about hell, that was hell last year. Like, 7 is not that bad. 7's typical. I know that sounds insane. Like, we're all making justifications. Us burners are all making justifications for our, we're all addicts, you know, to the event. Like, we're at 7 hours, isn't that bad? It's not that bad. But it's true, it's not that bad compared to what it normally is. So, yeah, I waited 5.5 hours, although, I'm realizing that I just have to not look at chat because I get distracted. I waited 5.5 hours, although I got lucky. So, do I start from the beginning or do I start, okay, fuck. Do I start from the end or the beginning? I'll start from the beginning. We're gonna start from the beginning, a very good place to start. So, when the rain started on Friday, I was working a ranger shift. I'm not really allowed to talk about that too much because, like, I want to continue to ranger again in future years, so I'm not gonna like talk about that too much, but it was a lovely time. I really enjoyed the experience of rangering this year. It was wild to be a first-time ranger with everything that was going on. And it had been lightly raining all midday into the afternoon, and we got news that we were gonna get heavy rains, but that it was only gonna last for 30 minutes. That was the news we were told. So we were like, great. It'll get wet, and people won't get to move for a day and a half or so, and it'll dry out, and things will be lovely. Well, it actually ended up raining for like almost 12 hours. I don't even know. I didn't really track the time accurately. I think it kind of started and stopped, but I remember it rained till like 1:30 in the morning. I think there were gaps in there where it stopped, but it rained for hours. So I prefer an in media res story. What does that mean? An in media res story. Start in the middle and take a spiral approach outward. So I was really lucky that my first ever ranger shift, I got to be in a truck. Usually you work a dirt shift, which means you're like on the ground walking around the city. I was lucky that I got to go with like a specialized ranger who had a little more experience, who was gonna be in a truck. So we were driving around. And we got called to go. You can never predict Nevada weather. You can get all the seasons in one day here. True, I've learned this. You are right, Dakota. Nevada's got a lot of diverse ecosystems. It's really a cool state. Anyway, we got a call that we needed to go to the higher clock side of the city. We were in like 2 o'clock area. We were told to go over to the 7 o'clock area. Burning Man is shaped like this. This whole side, well, if I'm facing you, I don't know, whatever. Whatever. Let's just say this whole side is the 2 o'clock, like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. The middle is 6 o'clock. The man is here, out in Inner Playa. Out here is the Temple and Deep Playa. And then 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. That's how the city is shaped and formatted. So we were like over here. We got a call that we needed to go over like here. So we were like, okay, well, the fastest way is to cut across Inner Playa. So we're driving along Inner Playa and we get a call. It starts raining harder and we get a call that's like, all driving must stop. And that means everybody. Like, the only people who are allowed to drive in those scenarios are cops or like emergency vehicles if it's really an emergency. That's it. Or like fire, maybe, you know? Nobody else. Media res and narrative work beginning into the middle of things. Oh, thank you. Got it. Even the layout sounds like a fever dream. It really is. It's very easy to get lost at Burning Man, Sinathan. It's very easy to get lost. So we get the call. We're out in like pretty much no man's land. Like, not quite no man's land because we can still see the city. It's not like you're way out in Deep Playa, but you're not in the city anymore. You're kind of in the middle of nowhere. And there's all these other cars. So we had to like flag down art cars that were moving and tell them to stop. Eventually we were told to not do that anymore. So we didn't do that anymore because they were like, you're going to be doing that all day and it's a safety risk. Like, just keep your safety as your number one priority. Like, just stay safe. So we're like, okay. So initially we're telling people to stop driving around. And then we stopped doing that. Some people were very understanding and very kind and very like, of course we'll stop. Other people were not, you know, there are entitled people at Burning Man too. And then we sit in the truck for like how many hours was it? I want to say like 3 hours, but it might have only been like 2.5 or 2. Around 3:30, I think, is when the rain got really heavy, and that's when they did the driving ban. And I think around 5:30, so maybe it was only 2 hours. I think around 5:30 is when they essentially told us to just go back to camp and shelter in place. They were like, your shift's over, go back to camp and shelter in place. Now, meanwhile, I had a radio for my ranger shift, my first ever ranger shift. And I'm like, I'm not really supposed to keep this radio, but they're telling me to just go to camp and shelter in place and like to not worry about bringing this radio in right now. So I just go back to camp and I shelter in place and I have a radio. And I'm like, well, this is cool. I kind of know what's going on a little bit. Although I wasn't really getting a lot of information. I was really just hearing like what was going on in the city. My whole camp was like, what's going on? Like, can you tell us anything? I'm like, I don't know anything. Like, this was my first shift. I don't know anything. So I go back to camp and our camp decides that they're going to throw a party. So they throw a party and it's raining, and this is the only thing that happened where I actually thought I might die. Like, the entire experience was totally fine at Burning Man. Like, I felt very safe. We had enough water and food to take care of ourselves for an extra week if we needed to. I had enough water that I was giving away water to other people who needed it. Like, Tyler and I were very prepared to take care of ourselves. We had enough layers. I had long underwear. We had rain ponchos. You know, my feet did get a little fucked up from walking on the uneven ground. I actually think I have nerve damage because my pinky toes are numb still. I have a doctor appointment Friday about that. But I'm pretty sure I just damaged my nerves from walking on the really uneven ground because I was working and I was walking around a lot. Our camp decided to throw a party and they didn't want to shut the electricity off. We didn't think that was a good idea. But, you know, they didn't really listen to us. And they didn't think it was a good idea, I guess, to raise their electricity boxes off the ground or wrap them in plastic. So at 1:30 in the morning, Tyler and I have unplugged all of our stuff. Like, we're not using the power, obviously. We didn't think it was a good idea to use our power in a tent during a rainstorm, so we didn't have any power. We didn't need it either. And at 1:30 in the morning, our tent, like, lights up in this orange blaze of, like, bright orange color. And I just hear like an electric shock going off. I scream and I jump over Tyler to get to the door of our tent. Like, he said that by the time he woke up, I was already at the door. Like, I moved so fast. I thought our tent was on fire. An electric 60 amp box that was like 15 feet away from our tent had exploded, had surged. That was the same area where I earlier in the stream, I told you guys how there were like 2 campers who had left earlier that day and then had to walk back. So they'd packed up their tents. Their tents had been in that spot. So they very well might have died if their tents had still been there. That was really, like, that experience messed me up. Because, like, we knew it was not a good idea the way our camp was handling electricity. And this is not, like, to throw shade at anyone in our camp because, like, they didn't really have a lot of help, to be honest. Like, there were not a lot of resourceful people. There were a lot of, like, the people running the camp were really, like, great, but it's not really our camp. There were a lot of issues with it. It wasn't really our vibe. And when that happened, and the fact that, like, they just kept partying, like, I had a really hard time getting back to sleep that night. Like, Tyler and I really did not feel great that night. And then we told people the next day, and no one really took it seriously. And then the box surged again, and then they finally did something about it. So that was my one experience where I was pretty fucking mad and not happy with the way things were going. Because I was like, listen, I'm not in charge of the electricity. Like, this isn't my forte. I don't even need the electricity. Like, I'm fully self-sufficient to just camp like a normal person without electricity. It's other people here who want the electricity. It's the people in the RVs. So, like, their life is not endangered like mine on the ground. So could you maybe fucking turn off the generator? So that was pretty messed up. Finally, they fixed it. After the second time they fixed it. That was the only issue that I ever really had, though. The rest, like, it was a really great experience, to be honest. Like, I went out and rangered the next day because I thought they might need help. Turns out every ranger thought the same thing. Every other ranger was working. They didn't have enough radios because they were like, too many rangers are working. And I actually did a shift by myself, which is not really something you're supposed to do. However, when I went to the will call box to ask if they needed help, they were like, yeah, you can keep your radio and do a shift if you want and just turn it in when you're done. And I worked for a few hours and then I turned it in. But there was nobody there to, like, partner with. So I just went off on my own. And I got to do a couple little things that were pretty easy, nothing too extreme. It was mostly just, like, talking to people and reassuring them and letting them know to, like, conserve water and fuel just to be safe. Everybody's spirits were, like, so high. They were so nice. They were so, like, people were so generous and kind. And I think it's the thing, like, the media didn't really, like, capture. Like, the media was latching on to, like, people have been told to conserve water and fuel and shit's hitting the fan, it's horrible there. And I'm like, people are still giving out food and alcohol like their life depends on it. Like, people are still partying. So people were prepared to take care of themselves for the most part. Like, you had some people who weren't, like, you had a lot of newbies this year, and some of them were not prepared, but I will say that, like, the majority of people were totally ready to take care of themselves, and the spirits were really high and good. So that was great. Flash forward to Sunday. I think it rained a little bit on Saturday. I don't really remember. Sunday, though, we were like, okay, maybe today's the day. Today, we could avoid the rain. Maybe it'll dry out enough for enough people to leave, because we had heard that it might get heavy rains on Monday, and I was really nervous about that. And I think Tyler at this point was starting to get a little nervous too, because he was like, if it rains heavy on Monday, like, I really don't want to be here till Wednesday. And I'm like, I know you don't, but we will do a better job hanging out here till Wednesday than most people, and most people are gonna try to leave. So we'd actually do better just sticking around and waiting, rather than trying to leave. Implied survival situation is more dramatic for a lot of media. Exactly. Like, I think that's a thing too. A lot of people I talked to were like, oh my God, it sounded horrible. And I'm like, well, Burning Man is a survival festival already. So like, it wasn't horrible. But if this had happened at Coachella and people weren't allowed to leave, like, yeah, it'd be fucking horrible, you know, because those people wouldn't have been prepared. Because why should they be? Burners are told that you need to be prepared to take care of yourself if the weather turns in a survival situation. So we were all pretty prepared. So it wasn't that bad. Like, you did get some idiots who weren't, but most people were fine. So most spirits were pretty high. Things were really good. In fact, I feel like, this is where I'm gonna get a little vague, because I don't know what I can say, but it did kind of feel like a return. Now, I never went to Burning Man in the olden days. Like, my first burn was 2018. I went to Burning Man way after it was cool to go. You know, like, I got on the wagon when it was long past cool, you know? So I never went during the olden days. I never went in the early 2000s or in the late 90s. I never went then. But a lot of people that I talked to that had said that it felt like a return to those times. Once the weather turned, a lot of law enforcement couldn't really be available for anything except for emergencies, because one, it's dangerous for them to have their people out there in these conditions, and then two, there's a lot more stuff happening that needs their attention that's a lot more important than just like being an undercover cop trying to get somebody a ticket or get them arrested for substance use. So what ended up happening was all rules went out the window. And people just started doing things that they're not supposed to do, but like in a fun way. People started just kind of handing out alcohol to anybody. At Burning Man, usually you'll get carded for every drink that you ask for. Like, if somebody's offering you a free drink, they need to see your ID, because there are undercover cops at Burning Man and they're trying to get you. They're trying to get you a ticket. And honestly, there are kids at Burning Man, so it makes sense. That went out the window. I was offered wine and beer and all sorts of stuff from people just walking around with it. Like, it did not matter anymore. No one cared. Same thing with substances. People were throwing them around like it was a football out in the open. It was insane. I will just say I had a pretty much sober burn. I had like a little bit of scotch at Scotch Fest. I personally think Burning Man, I enjoy it sober. I don't really, no shade, no tea. I don't really, like, truly, I don't really give a shit, like, what people choose to put in their bodies. But for me, it's a really overwhelming and overstimulating environment already. And also, I have a really good, like, my favorite part about Burning Man is connecting with people. Typically, if you're altered in any way, shape, or form, it's harder to connect with people. You can't really do it as well. You can't socialize as well. The socialization part is harder if you're drunk or something. So I actually was sober. But yeah, a lot of my friends were tossing stuff around like it was a football. And I was like, okay. It was kind of hilarious. Kind of wild. So how trustworthy are all the people at Burning Man? Listen, I think, it's a city of like 70,000 people. So you're gonna encounter some bad apples. Like, the people who act like Burning Man is some spiritual utopia are naive. It's not a utopia. It's an art festival. It's a city of 70,000 people. Like, you're gonna get some bad apples. However, most of the people there are very trusting, very generous, very kind. It's it's true what they say about that. Like when you go, like you can automatically like skip small talk and like pleasantries with people because already they're so open with you. It's very like refreshing. You immediately, and it was very weird coming out of the burn this year and going and spending a day in Reno to recover because we stayed at the Atlantis, which is like a casino hotel, and the people there were like not happy to see us. Like they did not get the impression that they liked burners, which is fine. I don't blame them. But they were like the exact opposite of all the people that I had just encountered. So they were very closed off, not happy to see me. So yeah, it's I would say that on average people are very trusting, but you do get some people who are not, just like you would in any situation, you know? There's always gonna be bad apples, but I will say that like the majority of people are pretty awesome. And even if you don't click with them, they're still gonna be open and kind and generous to you. Some people, though, are really snarky, because that's also a really big element at Burning Man. Kalo, have a good evening. Thank you for popping in. Thanks for the membership. Enjoy. Have a good night. How do you take a shower at Burning Man? Oh my God, it's hard. It's hard, because you have to collect your gray water. You can't let gray water touch the ground there, which LOL. I mean, after the rain, I'm sure there's so much gray water out there to clean up now. The leave no trace element was really hard this year, and I feel really bad for the team that's out there right now. That was the one, like, my burn was a really great burn. I feel like this was actually my best burn that I've had, but the leave no trace element was rough, and that really broke my heart. I was cleaning up trash all the time, and it just kept piling up because I think we just had so many virgins who had never been to Burning Man before and just didn't know how to do it, and I was like, please pick up your stuff, stop. But our camp had built a platform that had this tub that collected into this giant gray water tank. And so you'd stand in the tub, we had this shower curtain with magnets so it would stick to the side and you'd get some privacy. And you could shower and you put your own water into this little camp shower bag and it would like filter through. It was definitely not the most efficient camp shower, I will say. It used a lot of water in the span of 1 minute. So I only took one shower the entire week. I was there from Saturday till Monday. I wanted to take a second shower, but I was gonna do that on Saturday. Well, Friday it got rainy and cold, and then it stayed rainy and cold, and then our gray water was full, and we realized it wasn't gonna get, well, not full, but we realized it wasn't gonna get pumped. So no one showered anymore, because we were like, we need to conserve how much gray water we're making as a camp. So I got one shower in that entire time, and I felt disgusting. Very disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. Not everyone in Reno is mean, I swear. Dakota, I know. Trust me, there were so many nice people I met. Just at the Atlantis, like, they didn't seem very happy that we were there, but I don't really even blame them, to be honest with you. Like, I think if I was working at the Atlantis, I wouldn't be that happy either. And also, like, some burners are annoying and they leave their messes everywhere. Like, I truly don't blame any, oh, this is a debate that Tyler and I had. Maybe you can solve this for me. Is it Renoans? Renites? What do you call yourselves? Because we got into a debate about this. I don't blame any Reno people who don't like burners. In fact, I think I understand. But we encountered a lot of lovely Reno people. Like when we went to go return my bike, because we bought these bikes for really cheap from Reno Bike Repair, I think it was the name of the place. And if you like your bike, you can keep it. But if you don't, which I kind of had some issues with mine, you can return it and they will refurbish it and rent it out to another burner the next year, which is great because you don't have to spend that much money. It's a sustainable option, a better leave no trace option for people who are flying in to the burn. And so we decided to try it out. Tyler really liked his bike. I was like, no. So I returned mine. And when we were doing that, people saw our car and saw all this stuff on our car and were like pulling over, like, were you at the burn? Oh my God, how was it? Like there were a lot of locals who were like, tell us you survived, like congratulations. And like, that was really lovely. I'm like, oh my God, like not everybody hates us, yay. But like honestly, like most of the people I encountered in Reno were like so sweet and lovely. It was just like a lot of the people who had to like deal with a lot of burners in customer service and or maybe working a job that's not super enjoyable. And I'm like, I don't even blame you. I don't blame you at all. Reno 911's, duh. We did actually watch an episode of Reno 911 when we were in the hotel because I was like, you know what, we're here, we might as well. I work in the hotel industry and there were a bunch of burner stories from hotel workers out there, a lot. Unfortunately, a lot were negative. Yeah, exactly. Like there are a lot of negative stories because there are a lot of people who go to Burning Man once and call themselves burners and don't actually really understand the ethos and then give us a bad name. There are also a lot of people who go multiple times and are just entitled assholes and give us a bad name. On behalf of all of them, I'm really sorry. It sucks. I wish that wasn't a thing. I think also the nice ones though, we just have a hard time because our cars are filthy and then we come into these hotels and we're kind of filthy and people are like probably grossed out that they have to deal with us and I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm so gross. I'm sorry. I do bring like a pair of clean clothes though to change into during Exodus so that I can show up to the hotel at least in clean clothes that are normal looking, you know, like normal clean clothes and be like, hey, I know you can tell that I came from Burning Man. If you just look at my car, you get it. I'm in clean clothes though. And also Tyler and I packed day bags so that we only had to bring like our day packs inside and those day packs never left the car at Burning Man, so they were clean. So we only brought in clean day packs. We didn't bring any stuff that had playa dust on it because there were signs all around the hotel too asking people not to bring any playa dust in and if they did, they were gonna get charged. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure like they're sick of having to deal with this bullshit, you know? So I don't blame any locals for being frustrated. It mostly depends on who you ask, what they're called, or if they're happy with burners. Renoans. I was born in Reno. Renoans. That's what I would think. It's a funny debate though. Let's see. So I can relate. Not every truck stop has a shower, and I'm on the road 7 days at a time. Oh God, Zanzibar. That sounds rough. Yeah, it sucks. Like it's tough. It's tough to stay clean out there. I mean, you know, I bring a ton of baby wipes and I try, but it kind of feels like you're fighting a really like losing battle at a certain point and it starts to feel pointless. What kind of car do you have? No, it's not a Jeep. I have a GMC Terrain and it handled everything fine. To be fair, I didn't leave until Monday night when everything was dry. So I didn't test it in the muddy waters because I didn't think that would be a good idea. Hi, Pandora Wombat. Nice to see you again. Congratulations. Happy belated birthday. That's so exciting. Have you ever seen someone given a wedgie or all the American movies just lies? I've never seen it, but I'm sure it's happened. But I think it happens a lot more in the movies. Okay, so where did I leave off? Because I'll just tell the story of how we left pretty much. So the burn was great. I had a great time. It was a lot of fun. A lot of friends were there. A lot of like really meaningful, special connections with people. And on Sunday, it rained again, and some people were panicking and left when they maybe shouldn't have. And that's when you saw all the photos and videos of people getting stuck. By the time we left, most of those cars had been towed out, so they were gone. Pandora, I've just been negligent. I've been negligent, not you. It's my fault. I haven't streamed in a while. It was nice to meet you, by the way. What? Are you talking to me, Ultimate James? What? Did we meet? So we were like, we're not gonna leave in this chaos. Like, we were planning on staying till Monday anyway. Like, yes, the line might be a lot worse because there's all these people that are staying now, but I'd rather just stay till when we plan to stay and know that my car can make it out. I'm not gonna push it. Also, I wanted to help our camp clean up. I wasn't gonna abandon our camp early just because we were panicking. You know what I mean? There were some people who panicked. I think a lot of people who weren't panicked though. They were just like, I need to get out. Like, we had some campmates we had a famous artist in our camp who had a $4 million job in Rome, and he was like, I gotta go. Like, I got a $4 million gig in Rome. So he walked out because they had brought RVs in and they knew their RVs weren't going to make it out. So they walked out and other campmates brought their RVs out for them to Reno to get picked up by a friend. A lot of people were abandoning stuff, which wasn't great. But I think a lot of other people were compensating for that. Like, I did notice a lot of burners, like, figuring out, okay, this was abandoned, let's take it. Or, you know, I heard cleanup crew was doing a good job. So that's good. But, you know, the portos were a mess as well. I didn't talk about that. That was the only thing that actually scared me. Besides almost getting electrocuted, the only thing that actually scared me was the porto situation. Because, you know, the porto trucks couldn't get in to pump stuff out. So, you know, Tyler and I were prepared. We had a bucket if things got really bad. And they did get really bad in our sector specifically, because one sad porto truck guy was doing the Lord's work, and he was going around cleaning out the toilets one by one. And we noticed, because we walked to a party that was like a block away, and he had made it to those portos, but then his truck got stuck. So he didn't make it to our portos. So ours were pretty bad. And they did start to overflow. I didn't go over there. I had Imodium in my pack. So I took Imodium and I prayed. And we got lucky because that only lasted for like a day, and then a porto truck guy came in and pumped him out, and we were like, I literally went and delivered them ice cold Coca-Colas and seltzer waters and was like, thank you. Like, which is something that, to be fair, I do that every year. That's like, I make it a mission every year to find the porto guys and give them drinks, because people rarely like give them appropriate thanks, and we need them. Like, the event can't happen without their work and their help. So I always try to make it a point to do that. But this year I was like particularly seeking them out. So yeah, that was scary, but it all worked out. It was okay. Oh, I was static there for a second. At least I'm moving again. That's good. Pandora Wombat, thank you for the super chat. You did not have to do that. Would you consider reacting to the movie The Menu? It's horror satire, dark comedy, but if you ever worked in the food industry, it will resonate. I actually never worked in the food industry besides being a bus girl for a very short summer stint. But I will consider it. I have heard good things about it. Thank you for the suggestion, and thank you for the generous super chat. Thanking them with cold drinks was nice. Yeah, I mean, like, I have seen other people do it from time to time, but usually people are just like, oh, thanks, man. And I'm like, no, they deserve, like, anything they want. Like, the porto guys deserve all the gifts. Like, whatever they want. So, yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh my God, I just read your joke, Bama Brian. That was actually really cute. What is Batman's favorite type of pudding? Anyway, so the portos got taken care of, and honestly, that was Monday morning, and the sun came out, and I have never felt happier. Like, truly, Sunday was a really rough day, because Sunday I was like, it might get heavy rains tomorrow, and if it does, we're gonna be stuck here even longer, and the portos haven't been pumped out, and what if we get dysentery? I'm really scared. Like, that was when I was starting to get scared and was like, maybe we should pack up our camp and move further away from the portos, because we have a bucket and an Imodium, so we'll be okay. Like, other people won't. But then, you know, the porto guys made it out Monday morning, and I was like, I could cry. I'm so happy. And the sun came out, and we got news that it wasn't supposed to rain, and the weather had shifted, and it was going to be sunny all day. And I have never been happier. Like, despite how dirty and filthy I was, despite how tired I was and ready to go home, I was so happy. I was like, I could stay another 2 days if I needed to, just because my spirit has been renewed. Like, I actually feel so thankful and so happy. So yeah, no sun on Sunday. It was a rainy, gloomy day on Sunday. But Monday was lovely. The playa dried out really fast, and we got news that the man was gonna burn Monday night. By the way, Monday was also Tyler and my first wedding anniversary. Initially, when we'd been planning for the burn, we thought we were going to be spending our first wedding anniversary in Exodus, just leaving the event, and it was going to be a sad day. And so we were like, you know what, let's have a date night at Burning Man, which we ended up having a date night on Thursday. We went out to some bars and then explored some artwork. I gave him a cute little gift that I made him, and it was really cute. So I'm glad we had our date night on Thursday, because it wouldn't have been fun to try to have it any other night. So we got lucky with that. But then Monday, we were like, oh, the man's actually burning tonight, and it's our anniversary. We should stick around and watch the man burn. So we stuck around, and I was like, listen, everybody's going to try to do what we're doing. What I was trying to say was, I was only trying to let you know I really enjoy your reaction videos. Oh, this is the first live I've seen from you. Oh, okay. You're not bothering me. You're fine. I just misunderstand chats sometimes. Thank you for popping into the live. Thank you guys for the congrats. It was a really awesome anniversary, honestly. Like, so many people, I got messages from friends and family later that were like, I'm sorry that was your first wedding anniversary. Like, what a bummer way to spend it. I'm like, it was better than it would have been. Like, it was better than I ever could have imagined. Because the man burned on our anniversary. It never, ever has burned on a Monday. Like, we got a special man burn. It felt like it was just for us. Also, Tyler has a special thing with dragonflies being a really important symbol in his family. And he was feeling really down on Saturday when it was raining, and a dragonfly came out and circled him, and he was like, oh, we're gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine. And as soon as he said that, he explained to our friend why he felt that way. He explained to our friend, because our friend was like, what? And he's like, did you see that dragonfly that just circled me? And our friend was like, yeah. And he explained to him the significance of it. Right at that moment, the clouds parted and the sun shined, and then a rainbow came out. And our friend was like, holy shit, like, you're right. That's crazy. Like, so it really did feel like a lot was kind of happening for us. It was really special. The man burned Monday night, and our plan was to watch it from afar because we wanted to just immediately get in the car and get in the line. We were like, a lot of people are gonna do what we're doing. Let's just watch the man burn from a distance, toast with our friends who were staying, get in the car and go. So we did that. We watched all the fireworks, and we let the man burn for like a minute, and then we were like, okay, get in the car. And we got in the car, and then surprisingly, oh, by the way, right before the man started burning, I saw a shooting star. Nobody else in our group saw the shooting star. Just me. I made a wish on that shooting star. I can tell y'all what that wish was now because the wish came true. I wished for a smooth and easy exodus. I wished that our exodus wait would be shorter than other people's. That's mean, but that's what I wished for. Well, we get to the line and we're zooming. Like, we're in a lane that's going faster than anybody else's lane. And I'm like, how is this happening? And like, Tyler and I just aren't saying anything. Like, we don't want to jinx it. We're just like, wow, this is really fast. Great. Okay. Like, we're not gonna pay attention to the fact that we're moving faster than literally every other lane. I don't know how this is happening. Eventually we finally stop and we get out, and a guy behind us is like, hey, look, like he came up and knocked on our window and told us to get out and look because you could see the man burning from where we were in line, and the moon was rising over the man burn, and it was fucking big, and it looked orange. That was still to this day like one of the most beautiful sights I've ever seen, and we couldn't capture it on photos because you can never capture the moon in an iPhone camera, but it looked freaking fantastic. Master Voto, thank you so much for this super chat. I really appreciate it. It was a really great anniversary. Watching a man burn for a wedding anniversary. Yeah, well listen, it was special to us. But just because it was different and unique, you know? My husband and I went to Universal Studios for our anniversary this last April. Oh, that's awesome, Dakota. I'm glad. Anyway, so that was pretty spectacular. And then we get talking to this couple that's behind us, and turns out they're actually celebrating their first year dating anniversary. So we're like, oh my God, so cute. This is our wedding anniversary. And they were like, how long have y'all been in line? And I was like, oh, I think like by this point, or they were like, when did y'all get in line? Because by this point it was probably like 10. So we'd only been in line like 20 minutes. And We were like, yeah, we watched the man burn, and then we got in line, and they were like, huh? What do you mean you watched the man burn and then you got in line? Like, we got in line way before the man even started burning. And we're like, what? And they were like, when did you get in line? We were like, 9:40 p.m., like 20 minutes ago. And they were like, we got in line at 6 p.m. We were like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And they're like, no, it's okay. I mean, like, it's your anniversary. Like, the odds are just in your favor, clearly. So apparently they had been coming from the 8 o'clock side of the city. Apparently the 8 o'clock side of the city was fucked, like totally messed up. Apparently the 2 o'clock side was fucked too. We were coming from 430. Apparently 430 was one of the only streets that wasn't fucked. So people leaving from our side of the city, like specifically our street, were good. But if you were leaving from much like higher, like much later in the numbers in the time, like 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, or like 2 o'clock, you were screwed. So there are people who left at around the same time we did, who waited for 9 to 10 hours. Our total wait was only 5.5. It would have been 4.5, I think, but we ended up sadly having a bus fire in front of us. Nobody got hurt, thank God. I ended up hearing later because somebody who was at the Atlantis with us was next to the person whose bus went up in flames, and she said they didn't die, nobody got hurt, like they're fine, they just lost all their stuff. But like a bus fire happened in front of us and we could see it, and that held us up for like an hour. We would have gotten out in 4.5 hours probably, which is really fast. So I think it's because I wished on a shooting star. I think I got lucky. We had a really great anniversary. And that was my Burning Man experience. Then we drove to Reno. We almost crashed because we were so tired. That I don't recommend. But we made it, and we slept and ate a lot of food. And then we slept again, and then we hit the road, and we got home, and we cuddled the dogs. And it was great. It really felt like a historical time, Sinclair. Like, yeah, a once-in-a-lifetime burn event, and you two were there to celebrate it. It really felt like, how can we, like, a lot of people we know were leaving before the man burned. And I don't blame any of them. Like, people just wanted to get home. But I kind of felt like, how could we possibly leave? It's never burned on a Monday. You have, like, we can't miss this. We have to see it burn on a Monday. This is the oldest man that's ever lived. We have to see it burn. So we didn't stick around for the temple, though. The temple burned the next day. I was like, I'm not sticking around for that. But we stuck around for the man, and that felt really cool. Yanni, thank you so much for the anniversary super chat. I really appreciate it. Happy anniversary. Cheers. Thank you. Zanzibar White, thank you for the super chat as well. My God, you guys, you're all too generous. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. When you wish upon a star, you get to see a man burn. Exactly. And yeah, thank you, Dakota. I'm glad we made it out too. We were really lucky. I'm grateful that my car made it out. We all made it out in one piece. Everything was totally fine. And we were good. I know not everybody had as smooth of a time. Some people had a really rough time, and I feel for those people. But people have a rough time every year, no matter what the conditions are. This was just a different set of conditions than people were typically expecting. Last year, it was the heat. We were really prepared for the heat this year, you know? We built 2 swamp coolers. Which are like essentially like evaporation coolers. They use less power than like an air conditioner. And it worked really well. Like, one of the days was hot and we used it and it worked really well. It worked too well. I put it under my blanket and I was shivering. So we were really prepared for the heat. I think everybody was really prepared for the heat. A lot of people were not prepared for the cold and the wet. I was fine because I'm from a cold, wet place. So it wasn't that weird for me. I actually kind of loved it. The only thing I didn't love was the uneven ground because my feet were banging in my shoes with every step. My feet were wrecked by the end. And now I have numb pinky toes because I think I damaged the nerves on the sides of my feet. But it's fine. Nerves heal. They heal. So anyway, going to sleep now. Honestly, Renar, I think I'm about to log off too because I'm starving. I'm really hungry. And I kind of just wanted to use this stream as a chance to catch up with you guys. Thanks for popping in, Renar. I hope you have a great evening. Get some rest. In the future, would you bring your kids to Burning Man? You know, that's a really good question, Lucas. I used to say, hell yeah, I would. But after this burn, I don't know. And I always used to say, like, hell yeah, but they would need to be like 10. Like, they'd need to be able to voice their concerns to me. I'd need to be able to have them at an age where, like, you can just ask them what's wrong and know what's wrong, and you're not like, it's not like a fussy toddler that you don't know how to take care of because they can't communicate with you. Like, I would need an older kid, but now I'm like, I don't know. Like, I think what I would probably do is go to Build Week, which is like the week leading up to the event where stuff gets built, because I really do like the low-key vibes at Burning Man and the hardcore burners who are out there to just build stuff and maybe not out there to party. I'm not really about the party stuff, to be honest with you. That's not my favorite part of Burning Man at all. My version of partying is like helping people, making cool shit, running around and like doing interactive, goofy pranks and experiences. Like Tyler and I pranked people at this burn. It was really freaking fun. I'll actually tell you guys about that too. But real quick before I log off. But I would probably want to bring them to like maybe part of Build Week and like the first 2 days of the event, and then be like, Wednesday, we're leaving. Wednesday we go, we leave. Before the weekenders come in. I would not want them there with the weekend crowd at all. A lot of the weekenders are crazy. Like, they just speed around on e-bikes and hurt people, and it's just a lot wilder, and not in a way where I'd really want my kid there. I don't really judge other parents for bringing their kids, but I met a lot of parents this burn who were like, yeah, my kid was here earlier this week, and then we got them out on like Wednesday or Thursday. And I'm like, I think that's a really good move. Like, that's a great way to like introduce your kid to something new with a level of supervision that you're comfortable with, and then being able to like say when it gets too much or at a level of danger where you're like, I'm not okay with this anymore, get them out, get them to safety, and then like you can stay at the event if your parents are watching them or something, and you can still have your burn if you want to. But to be honest, like after Thursday, like I really had the burn that I wanted. By Friday, I was like, I'd be happy leaving. Like after my shift, I was like, I feel like I've done everything I wanted to do. So I don't even know if I'll stay for the man burn in the future. I mean, the only reason you stay for the man burn though really is to help your camp with breakdown and cleanup. So that's why I would stay, because it's not really fair to your camp to abandon them and not help with cleanup. So that's kind of the reason I did that. My daughter gave you the biggest smile when she saw you on my TV. Aww. Hi, Dakota's daughter. That's so cute. I don't know if any kids should be watching me. Like, I swear too much. Anyway, I'll tell you guys real quick about the quick... Oh, good night, DJ Low. Oh, no, you're saying good night to Renar. I was like, oh, are you going to? Oh, you too, Sinathan. I probably missed you, but have a good day at work. Or a good night at work. Thank you for popping in. I've missed 98% of everything. You know, you can play it back, Chubby. I did get into a long story about Burning Man, but that's only if you're interested, you know. Anyway, real quick, the prank before I go. Tyler and I wanted to prank people at this burn because I freaking love... She's only a year old, it's okay. Okay, good. So she doesn't know what I'm saying. That's good. That's really good. I love the prankster element at Burning Man. I love the live, like, improv theater style nature of things out there where you don't realize you're a part of a joke and then it clicks. Because to me, that's like the magic of the event. It's just like the play of everything. So Tyler and I were like, it's the Animalia theme was a thing this year, as animals was a theme. So I was like, I want to be a banana and you can be a gorilla and you can chase me around and we can prank camps that maybe like have a banana or a monkey theme. And like, I can be like, I'm running for my life, like you're trying to kill me. So we did that, and we found a camp near us called Camp Orange. They had a giant banana frontage, and they served frozen bananas every day, or no, like twice during the week. But it was like, the lines were crazy when they did it. Like they would have like 75 to 100 people in line. So we parked at this French camp that was also awesome. We didn't know it was awesome at the time, but we parked there and they were trying to rope us in and we were like, no, we gotta go do a prank. And they were like, please come back. And they were like so French, and they were honestly the best people I think I've ever met. Like, It was probably one of the best camps I've ever met. But anyway, that's a different story for a different time. They were trying to pull us in. They were like, you're not gonna come back. No one ever comes back. And we were like, we'll come back. And we parked our like bikes a little bit farther away so that we could get to Camp Orange. And they wouldn't see us coming. They wouldn't see us pull up. And so I ran up, and it's a line of like 75 people, and I'm just running up the whole line like, help me, please. He's chasing me, please. You have to save me. You don't understand. He's gonna eat me. And like people are very confused, like, what? Like, what's going on? And then Tyler runs up and he's chasing me, and we did this whole thing where I run into camp and I'm like, please help me, please. And they're like, we can't help you. We're serving you here. Like, we don't take well to your kind. Like, we're gonna freeze you and serve you to everybody. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I'm a good banana. And then he's coming in and he's like, everybody's cracking up and laughing because now they get the joke, and there's a gorilla chasing me. Turns out there was a hammock camp next door. So I'm running around the hammock and everybody's like, oh my God, get in the hammock. And I'm getting in the hammock and they're like, it's a banana hammock. Oh my God. It was really fun. We also pranked a couple other camps like that. We also biked through the city because our friend had a golf cart. So Tyler rode in the golf cart with our friend as a gorilla, and I was biking away from them in fear. So I would bike past people and be like, please help me, save me. And he would chase me in a golf cart, and people were cracking up. Like, it was the most fun I feel like I've ever had at the event. And I definitely want to do more stuff like that in the future. Like, that's my favorite part of, like, if that kind of stuff didn't exist at Burning Man, I would never have gone back. That's really what kept me going back, is like the playful nature of everything. Because it's just a place where you can be a kid again and like be stupid and be fun. And like people almost like expect you to lean into a prank. And a lot of the people we met that loved it, like they came up and told us they loved it, they were like, you gotta do this again next year, and you gotta get more gorillas. Like, there's gotta be more gorillas. Cause like, it'd be so funny if all the gorillas are fighting over this one banana. And I was like, oh my God, that's a really good idea. So yeah, it was a good time. Have a good night, day, morning, Orsha. I don't know what time it is for you, but have a good one. I'm gonna head out too, guys. Thanks for listening to my stories. I'm back in LA, Tommy. Yeah, I was in New York for the summer. I might have to go back at some point. It was just temporary, but yeah, you might see me back there. But yeah, I'm back in LA for a bit. So anyway, thanks for popping in, guys. I really appreciate all of the chats and the super chats and the members and just your company. Honestly, it's really nice to catch up with y'all. I would absolutely melt in that heat. Hugh, it's funny you say that, because one of my favorite burners ever is a YouTuber from Scotland. His name is Mark Day. He makes 24 hours at Burning Man videos, and he's Scottish. I mean, he lives in California now, I think. But I met him this year, and it blew my mind. Great guy. Totally lovely human being. But he's from Scotland, and he does fine. So you could do fine. You just have to wear a lot of sunscreen. Anyway, thanks, guys, for popping in. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. See y'all soon. Bye.